Santa's First Christmas. In the old days, Santa didn't have Christmas. All year he made toys at the North Pole, which he loaded up in his sleigh each Christmas Eve, then flew all over the world to place under trees. When he got home, he slept. And when he woke up Christmas morning, he went back to work. That's it.
That's it?
Asked the bear, who lived near the North Pole and was just passing by on the way to his cave.
Santa doesn't do anything special.
He sleeps in, said the elves, an extra half hour. The bear frowned.
Look, I love to sleep, but still, it's Christmas.
The elves were embarrassed. We should do something special for Santa, they said. And then they did. When Santa woke up that morning, the elves brought him breakfast in bed.
What's all this?
Santa asked. It's Christmas, they said. Merry Christmas. Santa smiled.
Thank you,
he said.
Looks delicious. Merry Christmas.
But when he finished his donuts, he put on his suit and picked up his tools. Wait, said the elves. We have to go pick out a tree.
For who?
Santa asked. For you, the elves said.
For what?
Santa asked. For Christmas. Santa set down his hammer.
Well, that sounds nice.
In the forest, Santa pointed to a handsome spruce. It's big, said an elf.
It sure is,
Santa said. It's just, said the elf, I think it's too big to fit in your house.
Ah, it'll fit,
Santa said. Somehow or other, they got the tree in, and they trimmed it with tinsel and candy canes and glass balls and pigs made out of gingerbread.
It's beautiful,
Santa said. Stockings next, said the elves, and they produced a long, woolly stocking that bore Santa's name. Santa fastened his stocking to the mantle with care, and then he put up the elves, since they couldn't reach very high. When he was done, he fetched wood and lit a warm fire.
This is fun,
Santa said.
What now?
They strung the North Pole with colorful lights. Then they counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. In the kitchen, the elves mixed up flour and sugar and eggs in a huge bowl. They gave Santa the spoon to lick while they rolled out the dough, which they cut into fancy shapes. But when the cookies came out of the oven, Santa was allowed only one. "We have to save them," said the elves, "to leave out with some milk for you-know-who."
But,
Santa said. The elves looked at him sternly. And when they caught Santa putting his fingers in the icing, they asked him to go to another room. So Santa found a warm spot in a chair by the fire where several elves were gathered to tell ghost stories and read poems out loud. When it was Santa's turn, he picked up a fat book bound in brown leather.
he had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
Santa set the book on his knee and smiled.
I really do laugh like that,
He said, and then he did. The door flew open, a flurry of snow blew in, and someone with a beard, dressed in red, with a sack full of gifts, bound into the room, roaring,
"Ho, ho, ho!"
Santa could tell who it was, but he didn't say. The first gift was for Santa from one of the elves, and the rest of the gifts were for Santa too.
I love them,
Santa said.
I love them all.
Then the bearded someone in red loaded up all the stockings with black licorice and red apples and socks rolled into balls. But there was no time for candy or fruit or trying on socks, for the table was set with minced pies and pudding and biscuits and roast Brussels sprouts, gravies, horseradish sauce, sparkling crystal glasses filled with spiced cider, a Yule log, poached pears, candy canes, several pies, a ginger stout cake powdered with sugar, 6 layers high. Santa's eyes crinkled a little and twinkled a little, and in the light of the candles, the elves were certain that Santa's eyes glistened a little.
Merry Christmas,
He said. "Merry Christmas!" they cried. And they ate food and sang carols all through the night. Santa said,
we should do this every year.
and now they do. Thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow for another story.